Forget Apple Watches. These 10 timepieces cost more than houses, glow in the dark for a century straight, and one of them is literally made from a piece of the moon. Number 1 will make your jaw hit the floor. Number 10. Moinet Magistralis. Most moon watches just have a picture of the moon on them. This one has the actual moon. Inside a tiny capsule at 3 o'clock sits a certified chunk of lunar meteorite, rock blasted off the moon's surface by an asteroid, drifted through space for who knows how long, then crash-landed on Earth. The surrounding dial is hand-engraved to mirror real lunar craters, including Tycho and Cassini, so actual space rock sits beside a sculpted replica of where it came from. Moinet was the first brand ever to put genuine lunar meteorite into a wristwatch, and the price tag reflects that bragging right hard, sitting around $1.1 million. You're not buying a watch here, you're buying a literal piece of outer space that fits on your wrist. Number 9. Omega Speedmaster Meteorite Moonphase. Omega didn't just slap one piece of meteorite on this thing, they used two. This Speedmaster features twin lunar meteorite cabochons, one tracking the moon phase for the northern hemisphere, one for the southern, both sitting on a dial cut from genuine iron meteorite with those wild ribbon-like flecks that take millions of years to form naturally in space. Here's the detail that gets skipped past too fast. The star positions printed around the dial are set to match the exact night sky from Apollo 11's historic landing. So strapped to your wrist is space rock, moon tracking accurate to both hemispheres, and a frozen snapshot of the sky on the single most important night in human spaceflight. Omega didn't have to go this hard, but considering they're the only watch that's actually walked on the moon, somehow it tracks. Number 8. Moser Streamliner Perpetual Moon Meteorite. Moonphase watches usually need correcting every couple years because the moon cycle is a weird, ugly number, not a clean 30 days. This one breaks that math completely. Moser built a special perpetual moon movement so absurdly precise it won't drift off track for 1,027 years. Let that sink in for a second. This watch will still be accurately tracking moon phases longer after you're gone than the entire history of the printing press. The dial itself is sliced from a genuine Gibeon meteorite, colored gold, then given a smoky fume treatment nobody's done to space rock before, so it almost looks alive under light. It's a watch built to outlive your bloodline by roughly 40 generations, just to tell you when the moon's full. Number 7. Richard Mille RM56 Sapphire. Most watch cases are metal. This one is solid, transparent sapphire crystal, the second hardest natural material on Earth behind diamond, and it's been carved entirely from a single block. Machining sapphire into a complex curved case shape takes over 1,000 hours per watch because the material fights back at every single cut, shattering easily if the tooling isn't perfect. The payoff is a watch you can see completely through, gears, springs, tourbillon, all floating in midair with zero opacity hiding the mechanism. It's not just see-through for style either, sapphire is essentially scratch-proof and can survive shocks that would crack steel. Richard Mille's price for that privilege sits north of $1.5 million, which honestly tracks once you realize they're sculpting jewelry-grade crystal like it's wood. Number 6. Vacheron Constantin La Quête du Temps. This one isn't even technically a wristwatch, and that's exactly why it earns a spot here. Built to mark Vacheron Constantin's 270th anniversary and unveiled inside the Louvre, this monolithic clock houses a hand-built bronze automaton standing over 11 inches tall, nicknamed the Astronomer. The figure can physically perform 144 distinct, fluid gestures, pointing out the current moon phase, the zodiac constellation, and the time itself, all set to original music played through onboard metallophone and wah-wah tubes built into the piece. It was never meant for production or sale, existing as a single, glorious flex of what mechanical watchmaking can stretch into when money stops being the limit. Somewhere between clock and theater, its proof horology can still be completely, gloriously unhinged. Number 5. Zenith G.F.J Calibre 135 Tantalum. When this watch first dropped, it broke the internet hard enough to win the Chronometry Award at the most prestigious watchmaking competition in the world, the Grand Prix HD Horlogerie de Genève. The newest Tantalum edition takes that hype and turns it up, pairing a rare, dense, dark metal barely used in watchmaking with a black onyx dial center surrounded by diamond hour markers. Inside ticks a hand-wound movement built around a brigade overcoil, a tiny coiled spring shape engineered specifically to keep the watch's timing accurate no matter what position your wrist is in. It's COSC chronometer certified too, meaning it passed brutal independent testing for precision. Tantalum is so difficult to machine that most brands avoid it entirely, which is exactly why seeing it executed this cleanly stopped collectors mid-scroll. Number 4. Lange 1 Tourbillon Perpetual Calendar Lumen. Most watches glow a little in the dark for a few minutes before fading out. This one bathes its numerals and outer dial sections in an almost extraterrestrial green light that lingers far longer than typical luminous coatings allow. But the real flex is buried in the mechanics. Lange & Son built the Perpetual calendar so precisely that it reportedly won't need a single manual correction until March of the year 2100. Limited to just 50 pieces in platinum, the movement is exposed on both the dial and the caseback, so you're watching the actual gears responsible for that century-spanning accuracy work in real time. Most calendars on your phone get confused by leap years. This watch solved that problem mechanically, decades before most of us will be alive to see it tested. Number 3. Van Cleef & Arpels Midnight Jour Moonphase de Lune. This watch doesn't just show you the moon, it performs it. The sky on the dial is crafted from Murano glass aventurine, sparkling like an actual starfield, while a galoche golden sun visibly chases a mother-of-pearl moon across the surface throughout the day. The moon phase itself is ultra-precise, tracking the real 29.5-day lunar cycle instead of rounding it off lazily like most watches do. Here's the part that gets people: when the moon eventually sinks below the horizon and disappears, you don't wait for it to return naturally. You press a hidden pusher, and the entire dial spins through a full rotation just to bring your moon back into frame on command. It's borderline impossible to explain in words, and somehow even harder to stop watching once you've seen it happen in person. Number 2. Patek Philippe Reference 1518 Steel. In November 2025, this watch quietly made history by becoming the single most expensive Patek Philippe wristwatch ever sold at a for-profit auction, hammering for roughly $17.6 million in Geneva. Only 4 examples of this specific steel reference are known to exist anywhere on Earth, and steel itself is the twist here, since Patek typically reserved this complication for gold or platinum cases for serious collectors, not everyday steel. Inside the room, the bidding got so intense that one eager collector interrupted the auctioneer mid-sentence just to throw out $8 million before the lot description had even finished. It shattered the brand's previous record, set by this exact same reference back in 2016. 4 watches exist. One just rewrote the entire record book for steel. Number 1. Vacheron Constantin Solaria Ultra Grand Complication. This is, by every technical measure that matters, the single most complicated wristwatch ever built by human hands. 8 years of development. 13 patents. 41 separate complications crammed across 2 fully functional dials, all squeezed into a case that's still genuinely wearable at 45mm. The headline feature tracks the sun's exact position, height, and path across the sky from any specific point on Earth, while flipping the watch over reveals a celestial object tracker paired with a split-seconds chronograph, something genuinely never attempted before in horology. Vacheron Constantin built this as a singular, unique piece, meaning there will never be a second one made, ever. There is no listed price because it was never meant to be sold. It exists purely to prove what's mechanically possible when restraint gets thrown out completely. So which one of these would you actually wear out in public? Drop your pick in the comments below, I'm genuinely curious. And if your jaw dropped even once watching this, smash subscribe, Bika.